Hi everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and most mind-boggling side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your host, Ray McNeil. Coming up in the program today, the Star Trek Bridge Crew VR game is being delayed. DARPA just recently tested a parasailing radar setup with a robotic boat. And coming up on this week's What the? A man robs a bank, goes and gets a drink, and then goes back to the bank to find out what all the noise is about. All that and much more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone, kicking off the program today with gaming news because I'm a gamer and, well, it's my show, so I'm allowed. Ubisoft's upcoming VR Star Trek Bridge Crew game seems to instill quite a bit of excitement in certain people that just can't be matched. And that's why some are so bummed out that the game has been delayed. Originally scheduled for November 29th, it's now being pushed all the way back to March 14, 2017. Star Trek Bridge Crew is a collaborative game where you'll assume one of four positions: captain, engineer, tactical, or helm officer, and then work with your teammates to complete objectives. It's a VR-only experience, so it's only coming to PC and the PlayStation 4 VR, for now at least. Here's hoping that we will actually get to play it in March. I swear I'm not biased, but it just so happens that both of my gaming stories today are from Ubisoft. What can I say? They're an awesome company. Ubisoft is facing the same problem with The Division that Bungie encountered with Destiny. How do you keep people playing a game after they've hit that level cap, especially when extra content only goes so far? Their solution? Dangle the promise of more loot. The developer has released that promised patch to overhaul the game's mechanics, and its centerpiece is a new World Tiers feature. It increases the difficulty of enemy characters in return for greater rewards and gear. As for those overhauled mechanics, a lot has changed, and it's mainly for the better. There have been many improvements to the enemy AI, and it's taking less time overall to kill them. Scavenging apparently has been removed entirely from the game, and you now progressively heal when you're outside of combat. Weapons and armor have seen significant rebalancing as well. To top it all off, skills behave very differently. There's no longer a cap, but you face diminishing returns the higher your skill levels get. It's hard to say if the update will inject new life into The Division, although it has made me think about picking it up again. In this week's military news, DARPA just concluded a set of tests proving the concept of Talons, or towed airborne lift of naval systems. Basically, the problem is that even on the largest ships, the highest point is likely more than 150 to 200 feet above the waterline. Talons takes the instruments that would normally be mounted atop the superstructure, gives them a tow line, and a parachute. It's effectively parasailing. They put the radar and the units up to 1,500 feet up in the sky, giving it 5 to 6 times the range it normally would on top of the superstructure on a ship. The concept was shown off last year, but these tests were the last DARPA was to do before handing off the tech to the Navy and giving us a glimpse of the future when robotic warships are able to see hundreds of miles away. Laser weapons will protect strikers and forward operating bases as part of an effort to save soldiers from incoming enemy attacks such as missiles, mortars, and artillery, even drone strikes. This is the first ever integration of a laser weapon onto an Army combat vehicle. The Army and General Dynamics Land Systems are developing a striker-mounted laser weapon aimed at better arming the vehicle to incinerate enemy drones or threatening ground targets. Concept vehicles are now being engineered and tested at the Army's Fort Still Artillery Headquarters as a way to quickly develop the weapon for operational service. During a test this past April, the laser weapon successfully shot down 21 of 23 enemy drone targets. The Army is now in research and test mode, but hope to be able to put an 18-kilowatt laser on a Stryker and actually fire the thing by 2018. NavD first started talking up its in-car aftermarket HUD back in the summer of 2014. I actually showcased it on my radio program back then. At the time, the company was promising to ship the device in 2015 for about $499. 2015 came and went, and now 2016 is almost over, and NavD has finally shipped what it claims to be the world's first augmented driving device. The price has gone up significantly. If you held off on the pre-order back in 2014 when you could pick up one for $299, you might be kicking yourself now. Originally, NavD said the HUD would retail for $499. It's come to the market for $799. It's still a pretty cool device, though. If you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, LA, Chicago, Manhattan, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, or Miami, NavD will give you same-day hand delivery and setup for the price. NavD projects your Google Maps directions and notifications from your phone onto a virtual screen directly on your windshield. The data is provided as a transparent image that allows you to keep your eyes on the road. It's basically a gaming HUD, but in real life. You can swipe in the air to answer or reject calls. One nice bit about the NavD device is that it has its own GPS and local storage for maps, so a loss of mobile signal doesn't mean a loss of maps. NavD also supports Siri and Google Now. In the early morning hours of October 20th, a big rig pulled into Colorado Springs bearing 50,000 frosty cans of Budweiser. Normally, this would not be a noteworthy occurrence, but this truck was driving itself, marking the first time that commercial cargo was shipped by a self-driving vehicle. The journey began 120 miles away at an Anheuser-Busch facility in Loveland, Colorado. The truck, a Volvo rig equipped with cameras and sensors, was one of 5 owned by Otto, a San Francisco-based self-driving truck company acquired by Uber back in August. A human driver piloted the truck to a way station in Fort Collins. From there, it drove 100 miles without human intervention to Colorado Springs, with the driver monitoring the 2-hour trip from the sleeper berth. But once it entered the city limits, the driver took control again. Instead of building its own trucks, Otto designs hardware kits for existing truck models. The truck that completed the beer delivery was equipped with a setup that included 2 cameras for lane detection, a LiDAR sensor to create a 3D environment, 2 front-facing radar sensors to detect obstacles and other vehicles on the road, and a GPS sensor to help pinpoint the truck's location. Otto also mapped the entire route by one of its one-of-a-kind trucks that was knitted out with all sorts of sensors along Interstate 25 in advance of this delivery. So it was very much scripted, but still a milestone. Otto and Uber may be the first to make autonomous cargo hauling a reality. Finally, an upgrade in the airline industry that actually helps our travels, not hinders them. Delta customers can now have a map view of their bag's last scanned location on the Fly Delta mobile app. The new map enhancement builds on Delta's industry-first system-wide launch of RFID bag tags and the rollout of RFID tracking technology at 84 airports in the U.S. All domestic stations now offer map view of the bag's journey, and international stations will receive this technology within the coming months, Delta says. When a customer wants to see the location of their bag on the map, the display starts by showing a zoomed-out map of the U.S. As the bag travels from one airport to the next, then the map automatically zooms to airport view, and users can view their bag along its journey via pins. with the last known location identified by a suitcase icon. Tapping any of the pins or the icon will provide additional text information about the location of your bag. Push notifications will sync with the app later this year and offer Delta customers down-to-the-minute updates on their checked baggage. Computer vision startup Movidius has cut a deal with China's Hikvision to bring better artificial intelligence to smart cameras. Under this deal, Movidius will provide deep neural network processing to Hikvision's line of smart cameras. The partnership notes that the video surveillance market is on the rise, with worldwide unit sales expected to grow by 7% in 2016. By using deep neural networks and stereo 3D sensing, Hikvision said it has been able to achieve a 99% accuracy in vision analytics applications. These applications include car model classifications, intruder detection, suspicious bag alert, seatbelt detection, and distracted driver detection. Oh yeah, and Intel is working on buying Movidius. Keep your eyes open for a new wave of smart cameras that can do most of the tough work for you. In this week's medical news, the National Institute of Health is touting results of a study it sponsored investigating a skin patch designed to treat peanut allergies. The device, called ViaSkin Peanut, was developed by DBV Technologies. They're a company based out of the suburbs of Paris, France. It delivers a small amount of peanut protein through the skin, training the immune system to deal with the allergen so that it can handle accidental exposure of peanut-based products in the future. The results come from a year of following 3 groups of volunteers that are allergic to peanuts. One group received a placebo, while 2 received 100 and 250 microgram daily doses via that patch. The volunteers were between the ages of 4 and 25, and the reactions to peanuts were gauged before the start of the trial. Following the trial, the researchers compared how well the participants tolerated peanut protein in quantities 10 times that of what they were able to ingest before the test. Almost 50% of the participants in the 2 groups that actually received peanut protein through the skin were able to tolerate the high amount of peanut protein, while, 12% in the placebo group were able to do the same. The study still goes on, and they expect further results to come in as time progresses. In the meantime, the initial results are very encouraging and could mean an end to peanut allergies in at least the distant future. And finally, on this week's What The, Stephen Daniel Stump is accused of robbing a bank in Key West, telling employees that he had a bomb. The homeless man got some cash and immediately headed down the block to order a drink from the local bar. Paying for it with a $50 bill from the heist, he told the bartender, "Keep the change," and then apparently heard sirens, so he walked down the street to the bank to see what was going on, and was apparently spotted by a bank employee. You guessed it, he was arrested. Must have been a really good drink. You've been watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think I should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your weekly tech update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax. Before you get on holiday on the island, contact Holiday Home Care. We can set up your residence or holiday rental, do the shopping for you, provide linen and towels, and make sure it's all ready by the time you get here, giving you more time to enjoy what Phillip Island has to offer. For more information, visit holidayhomecarepi.com or email holidayhomecarepi@gmail.com.